Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for each of the panelists for the work that you do. Deeply appreciate the work of the men and women who work in your respective organizations that are working every day to keep us safe. Director Wray, with regards to foreign cyber threats and theft, I think we can agree that the best defense is a good offense. China, Iran, Russia are only going to stop attacking our cyber in a cyber way if they're hurt more than we are. And I guess the question is, do you believe that our offensive cyber efforts are as effective as they should be? And if not, what should we be adding?
So certainly I agree with you that an important part of fighting back against our foreign adversaries in the cyber realm is offense as well as defense. That's a big part of this new strategy, FBI strategy that I rolled out, which is the idea, as I sort of maybe obliquely referenced in my opening statement, about focusing on results and maximizing impact. Sometimes the way to maximize impact is through law enforcement action that we would take. Sometimes it's through sanctions, but sometimes it's through offensive cyber operations. And we are very focused on making sure that intelligence and information that we develop through our investigative work is shared with our partners to enable their operations offensively. And so through our national cyber investigative joint task force, we're much more effective in partnering with the relevant IC and DoD agencies on that. I think there's obviously it's a growing area, and we're getting more sophisticated all the time. And you will never find an FBI director that wouldn't welcome more tools. But I do think we're moving in the right direction, and I think you're right to raise the issue.
Thank you, sir. Director Miller, I appreciate your clear-eyed, unvarnished update on where we are. With regards to weapons of mass destruction, do other nation states recognize just how severe a threat it would be for a weapon of mass destruction to fall in the hands of a non-state actor and to be used against us or anyone else for that matter? Do they recognize that, and are they taking sufficient actions to secure their nuclear capabilities?
Thanks, Senator, for that question. I can say definitively with our partners that they take it seriously. I can't dispute the fact that some rogue regime might not find gain strategic value in providing such weapons. Obviously, if a nation state was so unsophisticated to do something like that, I feel strongly that it would probably result in just catastrophic effects on them. It's what we're seeing really is they recognize, our terrorist enemies recognize that is the one thing they haven't been able to use against us. We have targeted again and again and will continue to prioritize any terrorist groups that are trying to acquire those types of weapon systems.
Thank you. Director Wray and Mr. Cuccinelli, I think we have watched with dismay as what have begun as peaceful protests turn violent, where heavily masked, apparently organized individuals come in and do destruction, and in some cases cause death. It seems in many respects that we're not as effective as we would like to be in preventing or stopping people of that nature. Sometimes we wonder, well, do we need more police on the front lines? Do we need National Guard? Do we need heavier equipment? Other times it's like, no, that will only encourage violence to occur. I guess the question is this: given your experience so far, what are we doing wrong? What should we be doing better to prevent what begin as peaceful protests from being, if you will, kidnapped by these small groups of whether it's Antifa or other violent groups of anarchists? How can we shut them down as violence begins to occur in a way that we're not doing now?
You want to go first?
Well, I'll start and then turn it over to Mr. Cuccinelli. I think at a big picture level, if you look across the country, the places that have been most effective in countering the kind of violence and dangerous criminal activity that you're describing, and preventing those bad actors from hijacking otherwise peaceful protests has been quick, prompt, robust partnership between federal, state, and local law enforcement. And where all the partners have really worked together quickly, all on the same page, all with the same mission, all aligned, it's usually been nipped in the bud, which has allowed both peaceful protests to continue, but has also prevented dangerous violence from really fomenting and spreading.
Yeah, Senator, I would add that, first of all, I would double down on the director's comment about the necessity of state, local, and federal cooperation. Where you see ready, smooth cooperation at the professional level, we're not talking about mayors and city councils. We're talking about when they don't interfere with their police's ability to interact with those of us at DOJ and DHS. That's where you see success. And I would say in terms of tactics, it's a peace through strength approach. It isn't that we want to engage in the battles, it's that we want to deter them and allow the peaceful protesting to go on peacefully. And the way that has succeeded around the country over the last several months is where there is sufficient responsible law enforcement in place, violence is deterred and peaceful protesting can continue. I would just note this is overwhelmingly or largely in the hands of state and local authorities. We have limitations on our federal jurisdictional authority, more so at DHS than DOJ, but we all respect our legal boundaries of authority. And that leads many people sometimes to be frustrated about why we might not be doing more in City X. We'll take Portland. We have federal facilities that we were addressing and protecting and the people there, but there is no jurisdiction on the part of the Department of Homeland Security to police Portland in the way their police do, even though their police won't cooperate frequently with our officers, and the result is greater violence.
Thank you.
Thank you for your concern.